Hey everybody, it's John with Happy Thumb.
Nah, just kidding. It's me, Brian, with HappyThumbsGaming. We're back with some more LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This is Uscru District Free Roam, which is going to wrap up the Coruscant areas, and we're also going to get our 1,000th Kyber brick. That's right, if you've been following along, you're probably really close as well. And we're going to get a trophy achievement called You May Fire When Ready. Now, we're also going to get 29 Kyber bricks, 6 character tokens, of course, 1 ship token, and that lonely data card. And, of course, we do have quick links down below in the video description. Now, we are in the home stretch of the free roam, and we're getting to, like, the last couple of levels, and so far we've had almost a perfect planet order where we haven't had to go and do anything on another planet without having to complete everything on that planet before moving to the next one. So there are some order-based tasks, and we've been pretty lucky getting them all the way done without having to jump back and forth and maybe mix some of them up. But that ends in this video, you guys, as I take out this stud comment and get my studage up quite a bit. In fact, I think we got over 100 million or so. I don't know, we got a lot. The stud comments are definitely worth it, especially if you don't have that 10 billion trophy achievement yet. Now, Coruscant, we're going to go ahead and head to the Uscru District. As I mentioned, though, there is a little bit of overlap. This is, unfortunately, one of those areas that has a task that cannot be completed until a task on another area is completed. Now, normally we would go and complete that other task first, but unfortunately there was another task somewhere else and somewhere else and somewhere else. So this is the first one that sort of overlaps. It is the last task we do in this video, and it will be the first task we do in the other areas video. So it shouldn't be confusing too much other than me trying to explain it. But here we are, we're finally on the ground here in the Uscru District, and I'm going to go ahead and target an area that does not have a visible brick yet, but I know it's there. So we're going to go ahead and make our way to the backside of the landing pad, and look at this. We've got our first Kyber brick, and it's actually called the Landing Pad Lurker. Feel free to use a jetpack, a grappler, whatever you want, and get out there and grab that brick. I'm going to use a scavenger with the glider to get out there, because it's the safest bet. Once I get out there, grab the brick, I'm just going to toggle back over to my other character, knowing that there's a chance that that character is going to hang out there for the next 20 minutes, because that's how it's been lately. The A, not so I, right? All right, we're just going to go ahead and start targeting these bricks and making our way back and forth. For the most part, it's actually a pretty smooth zigzag feature, but there are a couple of upsy downsies as there are multiple levels or areas that need to be accessed. So we're going to use our old lift the droid technique here by picking a character with the Force and then pulling out an astromech or a, well, in this case, a protocol droid, and just simply lift him up and get him up onto that ledge. And welcome to the Uscru District. Now, I'm probably saying that wrong. I know later they have some wordplay of the you get a screw loose. That's one of the things. Anyways, moving along, we'll go ahead and target the next brick. This one's called Seeya Laser. That's right. We're going to go ahead and actually, there's multiple ways you can get this done. But basically, there is a Kyber brick hiding behind a laser wall. Now, there are 4 targets on the giant building behind us, and they're kind of hard to reach from the bottom. So I'm going to recommend you get up on the roof. You just have a little better view from up here. And I know that sounds funny, like you always have a better view on the roof, right? But in this case, you just get those targets a little bit easier. Now, it can be done from the ground right in front of the laser beam, or it also can be done on the side. So I recommend either the side of the building or up on the roof. You can see all 4 of them are right there, but that top one right there is kind of a stretch to get when you're standing right in front of the laser door. Very possible, but harder than it needs to be. So get up on top, shoot them all down, and collect that Kyber brick. That's right. See you later. We out of here. All right, next up, we got another one. This one's called the Kitchen Kyber. I guess you probably are wondering why it's called Kitchen. Nah, you're probably not. As you know, there is a place called Dex's. Not Drex's, which is my dog's name, but it's Dexter's. And we're going to actually make our way around this bad boy and inside. And in the back, there is a kitchen area. We'll go ahead and make our way in there. Destroy a couple of things. You know my motto, when in doubt, smash about. Look at that. We'll go ahead and find some buildable bricks that we can turn into an astromech panel. And, of course, we can pull out our favorite. Actually, he's not our favorite. Our favorite's BB-8. I'm not into these mean guys. This is definitely not a good guy. We'll go ahead and solve this puzzle from the inside out. Once that happens, it actually sends the old droid in the corner out of here. And once that happens, it actually gives us access to a plug that we can pull. Once we pop that out, it's actually, looks like our Kyber brick is just about done in the oven. Booyah, ka-show. Kyber, Kitchen Kyber. I almost said it backwards. Kyber Kitchen. Kitchen Kyber. All right, next up, we've got our first character mission. This one's actually going to get us Dexter, who I was just talking about. It's called Crime Dining. In fact, all you have to do is speak to Dexter. He's going to let you know that some people have done some dine and dashing, which is very uncool. And we're going to go ahead and be tasked with trying to bounty hunt them. That's right. We're actually going to ask the locals a handful of questions, which will then eventually lead to an answer of where we need to go. And we'll go ahead and follow that tip and see where it takes us. You can see here, actually, I think this is the dude that gives us the main tip. And then we go back and tell Dexter, and he's like, oh, okay, so they're at the nightclub, huh? Well, get your butt over there and go handle it. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Luckily for us, it actually shows us on the map where we need to go. And if you plan your jumps right, you can actually skip a fair amount of the stairways down. However, as you can see, there is a benefit of following the stairs as you get to collect all those studs that are lined along the ledges. All right, eventually we make it to the nightclub, and look at this. Inside we find ourselves with a couple of, well, I guess there are two different people you can speak to. First one gives us a tip. The second one actually turns into a battle, as these guys, well, they're the ones that dined and dashed, and so they're not wanting to just hand over some monies. They want to fight it out. So, well, or dance off. That would have been much cooler. Like, developers, if you're listening, I'm sure you're not, but if you are, dance off would have been so much better here, where you had to do a series of quick time events to actually complete dance moves. So much better than actually just irradiating the baddying. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I am available for hire if you guys want some good ideas. I got lots of them. No, seriously, I do have some good ideas for future additions or other games inside LEGO World and out. So, I am available for... No, I'm just kidding. I doubt I'll get it out there. However, my son is actually working on a video game design degree. He's still in high school, but he's already got some technical school under his belt learning and actually getting some hands-on experience with some developers and stuff locally. It's actually a really cool program, and hopefully he'll continue with it, and maybe some of my ideas will make it into a game form at some point. All right, we've returned back to Dexter. We had a quick conversation. He is going to go ahead and reward us with himself. Look at that. Woo to the who, we got Dexter, and hopefully you did too. All right, right to the left-hand side, there is this giant, like, laser beam wall. If you play your cards just right, you can actually grapple all the way to the very top ledge. Now, I missed my opportunity, and I almost got laser beam there, so probably be a little more careful than I was, or just better aiming your grapple points. Now, in the next one, I do a pretty good job, I think. But basically, there's a left and a right side. We've scaled the right side, hit the button. Now we need to make it over to the left. That's right, to the left, to the left. We'll go ahead and grapple up there as well. I did find that if you stand on this little ledge here, you can often get the grapple point to target the very top one. However, I was not able to do that in this particular recording. I did manage to do it on my trial run over on the PS4 save, though. Doesn't do me any good in the video, though. I still look like a nub when I miss it. So we'll go ahead and drop down and collect that Kyber brick on the ground. It's kind of a funny angle as the camera work is exquisitely different there. Look at that, it's a shock factor, appropriately named, huh, as it was behind those shockingly laser-like walls. All right, right on the left-hand side of Dexter's diner is going to be another character mission. This one is actually called Guts of Steel, and we have to go and we have to round up some birdies for him. That's right, a little tweet, tweet, tweet. Now, if you remember when we did Jakku, I actually gave you guys a crazy awesome tip about taking these guys down. And that was to not use a blaster. In fact, if you use your lightsaber, it almost heat seeks those guys. Versus, you know, the lasers, sometimes you can get a shot or two to kind of follow your target that's moving. But mostly, and I do mean mostly, it misses. So we're going to recommend that you pick out a character with a lightsaber and then just simply target them and yeet it at them, and it should follow and hit them. Usually it hits them 2, sometimes even 3 times, which is pretty helpful in this because we have to round up 5 of these, I guess they're called steel peckers. Still not a fan of the name. We'll move on, though. We'll leave that alone. All right, so, you know, it's like a woodpecker, but a steel. I get it, but it's just a weird name. It's a weird name. Moving along, people, moving along. All right, so there should be 2 right here off to kind of the, I guess, the left side of the landing pad where we officially land on Jakku. And now we're going to go ahead and move towards the middle there happens to be markers, which is great, and it'll take us right to the next spot. Now, you got to pick the right path. Some of these are a little bit too steep for old Vader, but we'll make it there eventually, I promise. I don't know why I stood up on the top of the dunes. I felt like I don't know, maybe I was taller or something. Apparently, I was feeling a little short while I recorded this. But what we got to do is just simply follow the markers and target them with the lightsabers. I can't stress that enough. I mean, if you want to test it, feel free to pull out a blaster and see for yourself. It can be done, yes. Is it easier? No. I definitely recommend the lightsabers. Now, the last two are actually going to be right inside town, and if you play your cards right, you're going to swoop up a ton of studs, including maybe even a purple. I don't know if you saw that, but we slurped up a perp right as we walked in. And the last two are over by the fountain, kind of in the middle, almost by Unkar Platz, also by the trough. And we also had, what's his name back here, too? Bosk was back here in this corner on my right. All right, we got all 5 of them collected, and it's going to give us that question. Would you like to return to the Ravenous Rodian? Yes, we would. We'll go ahead and let him know we got all 5 of his boydies. And he's going to make, I guess, bird stew or something. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not a fan of fowl. I don't really care for, I mean, I guess I like chicken. I'm not a big fan of duck or, you know, chucker or, I don't know why. I have a really basic palate. All right. Right in the middle of the street here, there is going to be a couple of these little speeder bikes. I don't think that's what they're really called. I think they're called something else, but we're going to call them speeder bikes. This is going to come in very handy, as at the other end of the street, there happens to be a race. What? It's a race. I hope they win. And we are going to do just that with the speeder bike. Now, I tried to do it on foot, and even our fastest characters were still yielding like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 seconds. Nobody was under 7 to get the gold. So I looked around, found this little bike, and everything was all right. Look at this. I didn't even barely boost, and I still got it. Woo to the who! We got that gold, and hopefully you did too. All right. Double whammy. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and jump on another Kyber brick. This one is sort of at the end of the road here. In fact, I think we're going downtown. We're going to mark this building, which I thought was an upstairs, kind of like the diner was, right? I thought there was another area like that, but nope, I am incorrect. It's actually down and around, sort of where we went by the nightclub. And we're going to go ahead and go inside and find the counter offer. So this is one of those ones where you have to pay an astromech droid an absurd amount of studdage, but luckily we have multipliers that won't even matter. So I think we need to pay him 100,000. Which seems like a lot, but I mean, look, we've got 8 billion. I don't think it's really going to affect us much. We'll go ahead and pay him out, collect our brick, and then we'll go ahead and rearrange this place and get our money back, and then some, right? I mean, 3,000 times multiplier adds up really fast. Look at that. We got millions already. Forget about your 100,000. We got millions. All right, we're out of here. Sorry about that. Please don't bill us. All right, next up, we've got a gassy hallway here. I don't know if it's high in protein and beans over here or what's going on, but what we got to do is we actually have to get an astromech inside here and use a quick little panel. That's actually going to suppress the gas. That's right, a little Beano action here. And once we take care of the gas, we should be able to switch on over to a villain character, which can provide us with a thermal detonator, also known as a grenade. Then we can go ahead and blast the top off that silver box there, which should reward us with the Droid Tri-Fighter token. The Tri-Fighter? I'm not sure. I guess it's probably got 3 wings, right? I mean, I'm guessing that's what it is. Some of those ships I don't know very well. Like, I'm the first to admit that there's a ton of stuff I do know, and there's way more that I don't. Way more. Like, I haven't watched any of the new show. Like, there's that Andor show. Probably said it wrong, too. It's probably Ondor. I haven't even watched it. I mean, I'm so far behind in a lot of the Star Wars stuff. Bad Batch, never watched that either. I know there's a character pack with some characters in this. I don't even know who they are. Anyways, moving along. We got another Kyber brick. This one's called Hero Discount. We're actually going to go, well, I guess we're going to go over to the left-hand side. I thought about going that one over there, but nah, we'll go back. We'll go back. Reason for this is this one's just a little closer. In fact, this one's pretty simple, too. There's actually a cage holding a Kyber brick, but just behind it to the left, there is a hero terminal, which might be why they call it the Hero Discount, huh? It's not like a hero sandwich. It's like a hero person. And we'll go ahead and pull out our favorite, Bale. I don't. Does Bale even have a weapon? I don't like. I'm not trying to be mean, but beyond using this terminal, is there anything else he's capable of doing? Like, I'm not trying to hate on him. I'm asking genuinely. Does Bale have any other options? I guess he could probably grapple, right? Because I think all heroes can grapple. Anyways, I don't know about that one. That's he's our favorite character. All right, next up, another Kyber brick. This one's super simple. It's actually right on top of the roof, and it's called Up on the Roof. I don't know. They might have gotten a little lazy on this one. Pretty simple, though. You should be able to jump up on the box. Now, if you've already taken that box out, you could always use the forced lift process where we use a character with the force and pick up a droid to get him up there. Now, there's boxes around town, too, so all sorts of ways to get up there. Should be pretty simple stuff. Once you get that brick, though, we're actually going to go inside, and once we get in there, we're going to find a gold box. You know me, I love some gold. Target that with our favorite bounty hunter, which I thought my other character was a bounty hunter, but I was wrong. It was still Bale. Still fail, more like, right? Am I right? Okay, moving along. We'll go ahead and take out that gold box, pick up our Kyber brick, and just like always, we are out of here. Moving right along. As you may have guessed it, it's another Kyber brick. This one's called Kyber on the dance floor. So we're going to go back into the nightclub, which can be accessed by any three of these doors here. There's actually, you can see there's 3 doors in, 3 doors out. We're going to target this one right in the middle. And it's a pretty simple task to grab, too, especially with using the force lift trick, which is what we're going to do. We're actually going to switch to a character with the force, get up on top of that middle piece, and then once we're up there, we can actually maneuver our secondary character real close to us and lift him up top. So there you can see I actually was smart, and I put the droid right there, because they often want to run off, right? The second character usually wants to follow you, but we'll go ahead and lift him up. There happens to be a rope in the middle of the room, which might provide a little assistance for some of you, but really, you just need to hover there and toggle over to the other character. For us, it's like R1 or L2. Oh, no, sorry, R1 or L1. I don't know where the 2 came from. All right, hey, there's some handhelds on a wall here. We're going to use those to get up to the top, and there's actually a laser beam wall there. And unfortunately, it's not showing us the Kyber brick that's relevant to that, so we're not going to target that one yet. We're going to go to this other one first. This one's called Under the Spotlight. It's pretty simple. You're going to want to flip the second switch from the left once, then flip the middle switch once, and then flip the far right switch once, and then last but not least, the first switch on the left. Probably not the best way to say it, but it's basically number 2, number 3, number 5, number 1. If you mess it up, though, I can't help you. No, I'm just kidding. My best bet is if you get it wrong, either flip the one that you got wrong, because like if you accidentally hit 3 instead of 2, flip 3 again and it'll reset it back. But if you get too many steps ahead of yourself, then you might have to leave the planet and then re-land, and it should reset the puzzle for you. Once you get it done, though, we're actually going to toggle over to, whoopsie. That was kind of a mistake there. I didn't mean to do that. I forgot Vader was out. Really, we needed a villain character, and he will fit the bill. We'll go ahead and get him up there and follow the old pattern here. For us, it was up, right, left. Once we punch that bad boy in, it should open up this laser beam wall, and there should be a pull switch on the left. We'll go ahead and flip that. And then there should be a grapple point where we actually have to pull this bad boy down. It should blast the speakers and give us that Kyber brick on a little cocktail table there. And it's still not even showing us, but it's right below us. So drop down, turn around, and it should be right there. Yep, booyaka show. Now it shows. All right, there we go. 3rd time's a charm. Or wait, nailed it. First try, right? That won't be the first time you hear that in this video. There's a couple of moments that I nailed it first try. All right, we are coming up on a data card, but I don't think we're there yet. I think we got another Kyber brick. Let's see here. What's up next? Yep, Kyber brick, Kyber sandwich. All right, this one is another one that's right up on top of a roof. A couple of these. And this is where, listen, I'm not dogging on the game. There's a lot of collectibles. There's a lot of replayability, a lot of game here for your money, right? A lot of this stuff in the free roam, though, is so ridiculously repetitive. Like, we got 2 Kyber bricks on top of roofs of doors that you just have to jump. That just seems a little bit, All right, inside, we're actually going after the Disorganized District brick, and it's pretty simple. Inside, there is a cage that has a brick in it. It needs a fuse. That's right, so we'll grab this fuse with our force lift and slap it right into place. Once it is locked in, that's right, it pukes out that brick. All right, thank you very much. So we'll go ahead and make our way out of here. Of course, collecting studdage on our way out. And let's see here. Next up. Like I said, I know we're getting close to that data card, but my timeline's actually really small right now, so I can't see the writing of each label. I can only see that there's a label coming up. All right, so hey, remember a minute ago I said that there was more than one nailed it first try scenarios? This is one of them. This one was actually really easy, and I made it look really hard. I definitely recommend a bounty hunter with the jetpack. There are a couple of ways you can go about this. You can actually go about it from the top, too. You can come down from the upper area. I get stuck. Like, I'm legit trying to just move, and I'm stuck here. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Eventually, I get out. I get up on this little awning. And once you're up here, it's pretty easy, especially with the jetpack. There is a lip at the top, so you can't jump towards it. You have to jump straight up and then move towards it. Once you're up there, swoop up the brick, and we are out of here, too. Nailed it first try, right? All right, another Kyber brick. Everything must go. This one is going to be in the vacant shop, which is another one of the doors that you'll find on your map. Inside, we've got this shutter that's mostly closed. That's right, mostly. And we're going to need the help of a character with the Force. If you see that yellow sort of thing on the left there, right behind it, there is a statue. We're going to grab that statue with the Force. It's a little bit of a funny angle, so just kind of move your character around until you see that prompt pop up to use or lift. And once you do, go ahead and move it. Once you grab it, it should give you the camera full attention. The camera's full attention. That's not that funny. And from there, you should just be able to stack it on the button and drop it like it's hot. Hey, look at that. The data card is officially here. So this one's pretty simple. In fact, you might have grabbed it already. We were here in a story-based bit. That's right. So some of the story stuff makes us trudge around in these areas. So some of this should look familiar. And one of the spots we had to go to was out here. I don't remember what we did out here, but there was something out on this ledge. And out around on the back side is going to be the data card. So it is possible you may have swooped that up already, but man, we only got 3 of those things left. Are you kidding me? We got a lot of buying to do, though, right? A lot of buying. Whoa! A lot of flying, too, apparently. Bye! Vader is out of here. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and, well, we're going to figure out where the crap we are. And then we'll go ahead and pull up our map and target a brick at the end of the street here. This one's called Market Value. It's going to be pretty simple stuff. You got to make your way through a little bit of debris, and then you're going to need the help of a thermal detonator. Pull out your favorite villain character, yeet that nade, and take cover. Once it pops that top, we'll go ahead and wait for the bricks to drop, collect that brick, and we are out of here too. Making good ground, you know. I mean, there's quite a few collectibles in this area, and a lot of them we just made mincemeat out of. We just swooped and drooped? I don't know. We were out of here quick. That's all I'm trying to say. I always recommend, too, talking to anybody that might be a rumor giver, unless it's the Wookiees. Of course, they're rumor givers, too. We'll keep those Wookiees for a later challenge. We're actually getting really close to that. You know, we're probably 4 or 5 videos away from taking on those Wooksters. All right, so we're trying to get up on this ledge here. There's a couple different ways you can do it. Of course, you could use the Force lift and put a droid up there. You could use the box to lift it up. You could try again with a jetpack to get on top. The reason I spent so much time trying is because once you get up here, you got to switch back to a bounty hunter anyways to melt that gold. Look at that. We got ourselves a brick that wasn't there just a hot second ago. At least I don't think it was. But we swooped it. Coruscant Crasher is ours. All right. Next up, we've got District Dive. This one is... it's on the upper ledge. In fact, we probably could have swooped it up earlier. You can see it's way over there. Remember where that race was? It's actually right by the race. We got to go behind it. And once we, you can see it, it's up in the air there. We got to swoop up with a glider and jump off and plummet to our doom. No, we're actually just going to swoop it. And then, of course, we drop back down. Normally, I would toggle back to my character up high because we want to stay up high. But we did most of the stuff up here already. And there is more stuff to be done down below. So once I get up here, I'm going to switch to a scavenger, pull out my glider, and glide down. And then I think we stay down there. I'm pretty sure that we've got more biz to handle.
I'm always coming across stuff like that.
All right, hot second for the glider action here. Woo to the hoo. All right, don't look down. Okay, so we're right back to where we just was. Perfect, perfect. Let's go ahead and pull up our map and get our bearings here. Next up, we're going to grab this brick, which is actually down below, but it's up so high. Look at that. We've got ourselves a grapple point on the far right. It'll come in handy. Go ahead and jump up and around and grab that back. So here we go. Again, another just like really easy brick. This one had at least a funny name to it. You screw loose. Ooh, screw loose. You got a screw loose. I guess I can't really say that the way that makes sense. All right, this next one is high on the Spire. It's actually right in the middle of what I would consider to be like the marketplace area. And it's up top. Look to your left, Brian. Hard left, hard right now. It's up high. And I think I botched the jump here, too. I fall down to the up. Whoopsie. We're going to pull out somebody else with a grappler, I think. Pretty sure we pull out old Bale again. Look at that. So we get to prove here we do have a grapple. Pretty awesome. Get all the way to that top, and once you get up there, we're going to pull a pretty slick move here. We're going to jump up and stand on the top point. This is not a necessity. It's just something we did for cool. Actually, it's not the tall point. All right, so here we go. We're standing here. We're going to pull out our scavenger again and bust out a glider, and we're going to glide across this marketplace to where we kind of just were. There's a couple of items over here. One of them is actually a Kyber brick hiding behind a giant pipe, hence the name, The Pipes Are Calling. So we'll go ahead and jump down behind, grab it, whooped, and on this countertop to our, well, depending on how you're looking, right next to us here, there is a NES controller, more commonly known in this game as a key card, also labeled on your map as a pluggable. We'll go ahead and pick up this key card because we're going to need this one and two others right down below where we are. And rather than run all the way back up here later, I figured we'd go ahead and swoop this up now. In fact, across the way, you can actually see there is a spot up top, kind of in the middle range, that you can slide 3 cards. Check this out. I don't expect anybody to have as much luck as I just had doing that. So there is a ladder here. You could use the ladder. We can build up some boxes by using the Force to stack them up. You can also use the Force lift and move a protocol droid up there. Really what we need to do, though, is talk to this vendor and activate this mission. I mean, we probably could have completed it without speaking. But really, we're just going to go ahead and talk to him anyways. Now, it's going to activate the Keen Eye rumor, which is what we're doing right now. Look at that. I'm going to swoop up the card with a protocol droid, and then I'm going to lift him up, and look at that. He goes right up top. Easy peasy. So rather than try to build those boxes, I just find the Force lift so much quicker than most other scenarios. We're just going to rinse and repeat this. There's another key card right across the way here. Now, keep in mind, too, there are big banners. There's one right there on the wall. There are 8 of them scattered throughout that we need to take out for another Kyber brick. It's actually called, well, I can't think of what it's called right now, but we'll get it here in a bit. But feel free to knock those out now or wait till the end. There's actually one right up top, too. If you look, it's right there on the right-hand side of those key card sliders. And I'm having a heck of a time getting him up there. But luckily, I can drop him on the ladder, and he can climb the rest of the way up. Oh, all right. Once we get all 3 of those cards scanned, it opens up the gate. The vendor gets inside, and he is excited. That's right. So much excite, he eats out a Kyber brick. If he can ever find it. All right. Wait a minute. Sir, where did you pull that out from? Never mind. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Moving along. Moving along. All right. Next up, we've got Outlandish behavior. Turns out this one is actually up a little bit. In fact, I think this is just another lift one. I think we need the Force lift. I could be wrong. There's quite a few of those Force lift ones. There's another one of those banners on the wall there. Oh, this one's taking us upstairs. All right. Oh, you know what? I know which one this one is. Okay, so this is kind of a doozy here. In fact, it's a twosie. There are 2 of them. Follow the waypoint marker to this corner as it is leading us up onto the ledges. Now, you probably noticed an edit there. It's because I fell. I didn't figure you wanted to watch me climb up the stairs again. But as I mentioned, it's a double whammy. So you're going to want to come up here, and you can see there's a brick over to the right, but that's not the brick we have targeted. That is a brick we need to get via the same pathway. Look at me. I'm like, which one do I get first? Do I get the long one or the short one? I'm going for the long one first. Now, the reason for this is the AI will usually follow you. Not always, but usually. And my hopes is when I get to the end and get this brick, I can toggle to my other character, and they will be right up behind me. And they are! Look at that! It worked out. Hopefully the same will apply for you. But what we want to do is just work our way back. Now, if you fall off or the other character doesn't follow you, you just run up the stairs again, follow the same path, and get to this corner, and then use somebody with a jetpack to go ahead and jump across this little gap and collect the up and up in Uscru. I get what they're going for there too, but I can't get the rhythm right. It's like up and away, I think. Up and Uscru. Maybe not. Maybe I don't know what it is. It's probably a reference. Again, I get about 10% of these wordplay references. A lot of them are probably related to Star Wars stuff. Some of them are not. I get some of it, but not all of it. All right, I mentioned that we had a couple more of those force lift bricks. Here is another one right here. Kind of killing a bit of time, hoping that my secondary character will show up right behind me. And nope, he's not. So we're going to have to toggle over and see where he is. I think he's just chilling upstairs. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but he was actually standing right on top of the brick, which is weird. We'll go ahead and get our favorite Force character out with our droid in the air. And look at that. The Underbelly is officially ours. Next up, we've got ourselves another brick. This one's called Net Gains. Now, I think they want you to use a scavenger net, the old cargo nets. I always seem to find a way to bypass those. I very rarely use those. And you can see here, there is a net up top there. And wait a minute, though. Watch this. If I stand in the right place and use the Force, I can actually lift up this droid up higher. But I got to stand on a box, and that one box isn't high enough. So really, I probably should have just pulled out the scavenger, right? And then, you know, use the net launcher and then jumped up there, or use the Force push to get him up. Something. But in this case, I went old school. And wait for it. We'll get him up there. And once he's up on the roof, all he has to do is get to that front corner and jump. You can see it's kind of up and out of the way. Easy to miss, but it is up there. And we'll go ahead and drop down. And next up, we've got old Snootles. Remember old Snootles? We did a mission for her a while back. It was actually on this planet, I believe. She was singing or doing something. We had to but she came from somewhere else. So it wasn't related to this, but we had to come here to do it, I think, if I remember correctly. But we got to basically follow her around to 3 different locations. Each location, she is going to sing. And because nobody likes her singing, we have to actually use the Force to manipulate these people and make them come enjoy themselves. So it's probably a lot like people watching my videos. Like, I think they're here for fun and good times, but really they're hitting the mute button because they can't stand my nasally drone. Kind of similar. Hopefully not, but maybe. What we need to do, though, is simply find a couple of characters nearby that will allow us to use mind tricks. Simply hit the button above their head and move it to influence. Once you influence them and move them into the area they're supposed to be, press and hold the same button down you used to mind trick. That will allow you to toggle over to the other options. So for us, it was triangle, influence, walk them over, press and hold triangle again, and then move it to distract. Once you got that, you were good to go. Move on to the next one. So we got 3 at the first spot, and we are out of there. Now, another fun tip for you guys is that there seems to be a weird delay when you mind control an enemy, or I guess a local, whatever you want to call them. And I found that if you actually hit the jump button, as soon as you mind control them, notice I'm jumping every single time. It somehow bypasses the wait and allows you to immediately control. So mind control, jump, and you got to mind control, influence, jump, and then you have to simply run them over to the spot, and then press and hold the mind control button again. Oh no, I fell off the edge. Sometimes the jump doesn't work out in your favor. Usually it does, though. We'll go ahead and park them there. You can always see, too, that there is a number of how many locals we need to have in the Soico. And for us, it's 4 in this one. So there is a 4th person locally by. We'll go ahead and influence, jump, press and hold, switch to distract, and we are good to go. That's the second one complete. Next side, we got to talk to her again. She's going to take us to 1 more location. And I think we need 5 peoples. And then that should be it. And then we actually get rewarded with her character token, as you can already see down there in the bottom left corner. We also help her get a pretty sweet gig. She gets like a 10-year contract or something, she says, which seems a bit much. And speaking of a bit much, I tried to jump the gun here, and I tried to influence and guess where he was going to be. Because, look, she stops right there. But she's only stopping because she's so far ahead of me that she doesn't want me to get lost. Isn't that thoughtful? She eventually gets to the top of the stairs here, and there are 2 spots you can actually put the peoples. One right in front of her, and one down the stairs, which is, 5, 6 stairs down. So we got 1 in place. We got 4 more to do. And again, I can't recommend the jump method enough. Like, I mean, it's probably only going to save you, a minute on this whole mission. But, I mean, it's a minute, right? Like, I mean, you got 50-plus minutes, or I don't know how many. I think this one's 47 or something. This one's definitely up there. Oh, 49 and some change, just under 50. You know what I'm saying? So if you could save yourself a minute, that'd be worth it. Especially if you could save a minute here, save a minute there, save a minute there, which is kind of why I do some like the edits and stuff, right? Like I used to speed up some of the gameplay ever so slightly, but now with the characters having the upgrade that they move faster, I didn't seem to think that I needed it. All right, where's this 5th one out? Now, if you get lost on your compass, you should be able to look around and find a minifig head with a question mark on it. It might take you a little bit of trudging around, but you should be able to find it. Look at that. It's just off to the front left side. Now they're all dancing in place. It's hard for us to see, but yeah, I was going to say, there's a guy up on the roof looking down at us, and he gives the old head nod. Doesn't seem very excited about the whole thing, but he is apparently appreciating her and signs her to a contract, which I sped right through all that conversation. So, all right. So eventually we get the old size Snootles token. There we go. And we are off to another character mission. This one is actually for R2A6, a raw deal. So right behind us here, there should be an astromech on this same area we just finished on. And he is going to tell us about a person who got some bad food, and we're going to go help him out. I don't know if we're really helping him out or if we're just exposing the fact that he ate some bad stuff, but it looks like Jar Jar with a drumstick. Ready? I mean, I'm serious. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and make our way down, following the old waypoint marker. By now, most of the studs that we would collect as we run have been collected. Sadly, they don't continuously respawn. Once we get all the way to the bottom of the stairs, we're going to turn around, basically pull a U-turn and talk to the gal standing there. And then she points us in the direction of the opposite way. And look at that. The sick Gungan is down here. And we pass on the message. And he says, oh, now it feels like my boomer party insidin'. I love it. It's not like in my belly. It's insidin'. Like, come on. All right, that should be it. A raw deal complete. And we should get the R2A6 character token anytime now, game. All right, woot. All right, so we are, community service. That is the name of the multi-banner pluggable scattered throughout. Basically, we're on the last Kyber brick right now. That's kind of crazy. We do have a giant mission that yields us 2 characters after this, and it's a longin'. It's a longin'. It actually requires us to complete a task on another planet, which is kind of a bummer. But all right, here we are. We're going to go ahead and take out these banners. It kind of reminds me of the graffiti on the wall in LEGO DC Supervillains. Now, I did provide the quick links down below for all 8 of these. Normally, when they're so close together, I don't. But these are kind of scattered out and about. And there's a couple that are a little bit difficult. I'm going to show you why. If you've noticed, all of the boxes that I can stack and lift with my force are missing now. There's some sort of a glitch that has happened that has removed those from my current status of the game. There should be one way behind C-3PO. There should be one on the ground right there. There should be boxes, and there is not. And for whatever reason, the ladder is also missing, right? There should be a ladder there. I'm not sure why that is how it is, but it is. So I got a solution for you. We're going to go ahead and make our way up the stairs across the way. And look at this. You can yeet a saber at it and take it down easy peasy. But that is where those scanned cards were, where we had to get up there earlier. And you saw me lift the droid up on my own. And then when I struggled, I put him on the ladder, right? And it's not there. I don't know what's going on with that. Pretty weird stuff. May or may not happen to you. But regardless, we got a solution if it does. Next up, we got number 4, which is just right around the corner. In fact, it's hiding. There's the final character mission right there. You can see it's got double whammy with the characters. Don't get confused and hit the wrong piece here. We're going to go ahead and smack it. And right around the corner here is another one. It's literally on the same little stretch here, on the left side, though, instead of the right. And we'll take that out. I almost ran right by it. And then we're going to swoop all the way around, and right at the base of the stairway over here, there is another one. It's number 6. And then the final 2 are going to be up a floor, I guess it is, and around the corner, too. So we're going to have to come right back down here because that character mission's right to our right. Next up, though, we got to go up the stairs, and it should be straight up and right ahead of us. There's the right, and there it is. Booyakashow. Take it out, and last but not least, we're gonna mark it on the map. Don't worry. This one is actually a little ways away. This is kind of one of the ones that made me feel like I needed to put quick links for each one. We're actually gonna go and take a right across here. We probably could have shot a saber or a blaster at it from a distance, but we'll go ahead and get up close and personal and look at that. You may fire when ready. That right there, people, is our 1,000th Kyber brick, as it'll show us right there. 1,000 Kyber bricks have officially been collected. That's pretty crazy and also impressive. If you remember, I'm part of the 1016 club from Lego Dimensions. I almost called it Dimensions. What the crap is Dimensions? But 1016, that was a lot, and that was the most at any Lego game to this date. But not anymore. We officially got more. Here we go. We got another character quest called Dancing with the Stars. Now, this one, as I already mentioned, does require us to complete a task that is relevant to another area. This is the first time this has actually happened in our free roamage, which is pretty impressive because we've got quite a few areas done, like 35 planets or something like that, and a bunch of space too. We'll go ahead and accept this mission, knowing that there's no way around this, right? So we couldn't complete this area without completing this other mission in another area. It's really weird how they sort of overlapped this stuff, but basically, after speaking to Grieta, I don't know if I said that right, we got to go inside the club and do some, well, I guess some spyage. We got to do some due diligence and get some informations from the peoples. And now we're going to need to go upstairs to talk to that third and final person. So use those handhelds we used earlier. And again, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. It shouldn't matter. None of you guys will really care anyways. But essentially, this is the final task that we do in this area. It will also be the first task that we do at Maz's castle, right? That's where we're going to end up doing the actual task, which Maz's castle is actually going to be the last area we take on. If you're curious, our order next is going to be Mos Eisley, then Cloud City, then finally Maz's castle. And that's it, you guys. We're literally in the home stretch, assuming you've been following along with us. Now, if you just jumped into this as your first free roam, not the case. You got a lot of work to do left. But if you have been following along with us, we are good to go. You know, and I mean, it's up to you guys whether you want to pick off bricks. Like there was a Kyber brick right above that walkway there. We could have easily used the force to lift up our 3PO and grab it, but we opted to not to because that would mess up the video for this area when we get here because we still haven't done this area, right? So that's kind of really more of a recorder or a creator problem than it is a player problem, right? Because you guys don't care if you got a Kyber brick done or not. But for the video purposes, somebody is trying to show up in this area. It'd be terrible if I grabbed the Kyber brick for this area when we're actually in the video for the Uscru District, right? Does that make sense? So trying to make it all work and not have it be confusing. You can see there we actually have a quest that is completed that we did somewhere else, and we still haven't cashed in yet. As you can see, Buddy's got the star above his head. Now, Maz's castle, here we go. We've got 0 of 29. You see that? Unfortunately, when we finish this next task, it's actually going to be 1 of 29. That's what I was just saying. So when we land, we have officially not touched anything local. But when we leave, we will have completed one small task. And basically what it is we have to set up a dance floor. And you can't have dancing without a dance floor. And the mission we're trying to do right now is to dance. But again, you can't have dancing without a dance floor and music, right? So we got to provide that. So once we get inside here, we're going to go over to the far right. We see Buddy. We're like, woot, we got him. We're good to go. Notice there's a Kyber brick right there to the left. Yeah, that's what we got to do, unfortunately. Unfortunately. It's all good, though. It's not a big deal. It's 1 brick so far. There's actually going to be another scenario on the next level just like this, where we have to do 1 brick for another area that's not relevant to the area we're doing. But, you know, if we have 3 videos that have a brick that's that's pretty good. I mean, we did a pretty good job. I've heard of other people having not as much organization. I don't know who they are, but the people always compliment us for having it dialed in as best as possible, and I feel like we're pretty close to that, if not on the mark. But all right, destroy the stuff on the stage. It's going to give you some bouncing bricks, build them up into an astromech panel, solve it from the inside out, and that's actually going to give us the tunes we need. Now, from there, we're going to have to repeat the process of bringing some dancers, right? So now we got to talk to Buddy. And Buddy is going to go ahead and say, hey, now if we all just had some dancers, right? Sadly, there it is. Maz's Melodies has been completed. And I'm going to try to edit that up in a way that looks really good. I think I got it figured out. Don't worry about me. The only thing that's going to be wrong is our Kyber brick count up top. Anyways, use the Force to manipulate and mind control a handful of guys to come and get their dance on. Now, sadly, when I get the 3rd one in here, it wants me to talk to the club boss. And sadly, the club boss doesn't want to talk to me. I was really worried that maybe I was going to have to replay this entire area of free roam and revert my save to get this to work, as Buddy does not want to converse with me. It's not a matter of me scaring him. It's not a matter of people not being in the dance floor. Trust me, I went back and forth and mind controlled, distracted all of these people over and over and over again. I left some of the footage here because I wanted people to see that this is a possibility that might happen to you. And just like with the ladder disappearing in the last task that we did, for some unknown reason, the game's sort of bugging out on me. But I find a solution so that you don't have to replay everything or find yourself with 1 brick short of getting to 100%. What I did was, and as you can see here, I'm double checking all the mind tricks, making sure everybody's influenced. I was waiting, you know, for something to be off, right? Like maybe one guy somehow didn't get distracted. Maybe I forced and knocked him off of being distracted or something. But no, I redid all 3 of them again. At least I think I did. I think I did that guy twice. So I redid this guy. They're all dancing. He still doesn't want to talk. So what I did was I went ahead and left the planet. I went ahead and just said, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my map. I'm going to fly up into the Spatial region. And you can see I've got 1 of 29 now, sadly. And it looks like I forgot to actually edit that out. What a noob. That's all right. Actually, I think I originally left this in here just to show you the process. Although I probably could have sped things up a little bit by removing that. Anyways, we'll go ahead and choose Takodana, Maz's castle, and just land right back. So I guess I left that there to show you that there was no trickery with edits, that literally leaving and coming back solved it for me. Now, I think I have to go and mind control the 3 people again, I think. And once I get them did in the circle again, it does work. So good news, right? A little bit of relief, at least from my side, because I really thought I was going to have to replay all this over again. And, you know, this doesn't work for everybody. A lot of you guys have the autosave feature on. And if you have the autosave feature on, your save is current. I don't. I turn my autosave off, and I do manual saves after every completed area. So I was good to go on that. Look at that, though. I didn't even have to mind control him. It was just ready to go. And Buyuka Shao, I'm back to Grieta Jendowanian. And she is very happy. Oh, she even called me Sugar. That's usually a sign of affection. And dancing with the Star Wars complete. All right, and there we go. We got the first character token, Grieta. And coming up next, second character token, Oola. All right, all right, all right. So, guess what, peoples? That is going to officially wrap it up for the Uscru District. We got 29, 29, 1, 1, 1, 1, 6 of 6. All right, all right, all right. And we even got a head start on Maz's castle. Like, I'm sort of bummed out, but also kind of excited. It's one less thing that I'll have to do later. And the way that it worked out, I think the edit should be good, and it shouldn't be confusing to anybody who jumps in late or isn't following along perfectly. Anyways, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Click that like button. See you on the next video. As always, until next time.